people of Ghana, is your Nigerian girlfriend bringing you political news in our channel Aboagye. Just to watch a brilliant submission from Aboagye Miracle Dennis, how he has analyzed political communication indeed, and he has actually made everyone understand what it means to be in his shoe. Please stretch.
It's a campaign, and him personally addressing this issue as no matter how much he wants to detach, nam ye mate, nam ye driver, but people are saying no. You know, you can't just get away with that. How much do you think the effort to detach is working? Because people don't seem to. To get that excuse, say,
I was just about to open his speech for you. As a matter of fact, and I probably would like to set that record on your show, the Vice President has never, ever, on any occasion, sought to detach himself from the government. He's never done that. And the point he made about being a driver's mate, which I was trying to open to read to you because I wanted to pick it verbatim, never sought to, it was never nowhere close to him trying to say that I am not part of the government. Isn't the mate part of the journey? Isn't the mate part of the
he is so
exactly.
But when he say that absolutely, it means he was not in control.
No, of course, but is the mate in control? So that analogy is not wrong, but that analogy never implies that I am not part of the journey. When the driver wakes up in the morning, he doesn't move his car without his mate, does he? Whenever the mate is, it's either he will wait for the mate or he will go to pick the mate up. The mate has a specific responsibility on the journey. When, for example, you set up to move from Medina to Accra Central, the mate's job at the lorry park is to make sure that he is in the queue. You know the way they do it at the GPRTU station. The bookman has called, Eduso. Then the mate will be cleaning the car whilst the driver is chatting with his colleagues. When it's your turn, usually the mate will move the car from where it's parked to come and stand. They call it scale and park on the scale. Then the mate will be calling. Madina Lego.
Now, I was actually explaining what Dr. Aboagye said about being a mate. It doesn't mean that he's not part of the government or that he's incompetent or maybe he's not doing anything or maybe the driver is not driving when he has just shown that he has his own responsibility while the driver has his own responsibility.
That's everybody that go Accra, and the mate will load. It is not the mate who decides that we are going to Accra Tema station today. It is the driver.
But the mate knows. But the mate knows where we are going.
Absolutely, and that's not in doubt. But once the driver decides that we are going to Tema station Accra, the mate's job is to ensure that the car is loaded, and then whilst they are on the journey, yes, Legon, Okponglo woman, Standards Authority woman, Golf House, that's the mate's job. And the driver also has a specific responsibility. But the one who is handling the steer and determining whether, when we get to Atomic Junction, we should use the Presec road or we should go through TF Hostel and drive through Legon and go through Gempa, is the driver, not the mate. The one who decides that when we get to Atomic Junction, there are 4 potholes. Should we swerve this way or hit the pothole? Is the driver, not the mate. That does not in any way implies that the mate isn't part of the journey. Indeed, if the passengers have an issue, they start attacking the mate even before it gets to the driver. You know that scenario. Then the driver will start shouting, Master, quite way hard parking and all of that. So we need to understand the scenario. Ultimately, when the mate gets his driver's license and becomes a driver, he can choose that tomorrow morning I'm no longer going to Tema station. I am now going to go to Circle. That is his decision at that point. And he doesn't have to do that with recourse to any driver because he is in charge. And he also have a mate to drive that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I said that he has never detached himself from the government. It's because he's confronting the issues and addressing the issues. He's never said that, oh, don't ask me this because I'm not the driver. He's never said that anywhere.
But he says there are certain things that the government has done that he will change when it gets power.
Absolutely.
Hasn't he said that?
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I'll give you a quick reason why. In this production room, okay, in this production room, I doubt if your entire team would have loved Miracles to be on the show today. But for the cameraman and for the sound engineer, that's what their call. It is your call. So when you come, they can only say, oh, but why are you bringing Miracles? Why are you not bringing this other person? Then you say, no, it's okay. He's the guy coming. Whether he agrees with you or not, this morning, his job is to come and see.
Now, this is what they call election, campaign, and every other thing without propaganda. You've seen that. As Miracle has been saying so many things, he has never insulted anyone, and he's just been saying what he wants to say with his basis, his evidences, and has not said anything wrong or insulted anyone in any way.
And guide the conversation and play his role. The vice president, the president, and the entire cabinet, including us presidential staffers, we may not always agree on issues. When you have a company, you don't have every staff and employee in your company agreeing on decisions. But there is a reason why we run a democracy. And the democracy is not only with the state governance. Even our domestic home, we run a democracy. And it's simply because let's hear everybody. But ultimately, let's take a decision. When the decision is taken, yours is not to go and sit somewhere and say, I disagree with the decision, so I'm not going to help to implement it. Yours is to give your maximum best in ensuring that that decision that has been taken collectively is implemented to the benefit of all. So he disagrees with e-levy. He's disagreed with it from day one. He disagreed with it when it was being decided on. But he's not the only person in government. And he's not the ultimate decision maker in government. The ultimate responsibility and decision making in government is with the president. Because we run an executive presidency. Every other person in government is an advisor to the president. He decides whether he wants to listen or not. When the president is presenting, when the finance minister is presenting a budget in parliament, it is a budget being read on behalf of the president. And that's why the finance minister will always say that he's reading this budget on behalf of the president. So the president decides that I'm reading a budget for 2022. And in that budget, I've decided that I'm going to introduce a levy. Vice president says, Mr. President, I don't think it's the best idea. I think we should do it this way, this way. It's discussed. Everybody say, oh no, we think this is the way to go. The vice president can say, I have resigned because you didn't listen to me. That is not how a society is run. Your idea may be wrong anyway, or it may also be right. But there's something called ultimate responsibility and collective responsibility. And that's why the vice president takes collective responsibility of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the ultimate responsibility in this country's governance is with the president.
This is what we understand, and yes, I've actually understood why Dr. Aboagye is not really participating too much, why the president is still on seat. That's why he has asked that everyone give him his chance, give him his own chance so that he can come rule the country the way he actually wants. That will benefit everyone in the country. Please do well to like, comment, follow, put on notification bell so you get all our news one by one. Thanks, my people.